Welcome, movie watchers. Thank you guys for stopping by my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Monsters at Work, the first full season. Not sure if this is going to have a second season or not, but we're going to talk about all of the episodes. And this is a sequel to Monsters, Inc., the movie, literally the day after the events of the end of Monsters, Inc. Set the day after Henry J. Watermoose III is arrested in Monsters, Inc., the Monsters Incorporated factory is making the transition to Laugh Power. Tylor Tuskmon, a recent scare major graduate from Monsters University working as a mechanic in the factory's facility team, dreams of working alongside Mike and Sulley. Meanwhile, Mike and Sulley encounters the trials and tribulations of running the company. So this was a pretty interesting series. It's not from Pixar, it's from Disney, and it's set after the events of Monsters, Inc. It brings back John Goodman and Billy Crystal to voice Mike and Sulley. We have Ben Feldman, who voices Tylor Tuskmon. Some pretty good voice actors in here. This reminded me of when Disney used to do some animated series for some of their popular movies like The Little Mermaid. So they had some shows kind of spin off of that, just kind of continuing some of the stories. And while this does not hit emotionally or even remotely as entertaining as the Monsters, Inc. movie, I do think it was a pretty fun watch. One of the highlights of it for me was seeing Mike and Sulley back once again. And we had a segment at the end of each episode called Mike's Comedy Class, since they're continuing to not scare kids instead to make them laugh. So I like that he's kind of acting as a teacher, and we get to see that in play within the series. We also have a lot of Mike and Sulley in here. The series is not focused on Mike and Sulley. There is moments where they are trying to continue to run the company and kind of the behind the scenes look at the job and the company business and all of that. I like that it continues the business aspect of it and running a company. And Mike and Sulley are there trying to continue it, also learning new things about running a company as well. So I like that aspect of it. But then we have Tylor Tuskmon, who essentially I think is like the main character of the series. He's a mechanic on the Monsters Incorporated facilities team, and he's taking part-time classes to be a jokester. I really like the group in here that we have of the Monsters Incorporated facilities team with Tyler. We also have Val, Fritz, Duncan, and Cutter. All of these characters are enjoyable in their own way. They don't have like the perfect relationship with each other, but a lot of them are really entertaining characters. Who is voiced by Mindy Kaling. She has a really upbeat personality in the series, and Tyler doesn't think that he's going to be with that team for very long, but she assumes that he will. So she creates like a lighthearted work experience, especially for Tyler when she introduces herself, since she did also know him from Monsters University. And so they kind of have a past together. But this series takes a lot of, like I said, the business aspect and incorporates it into an episode. Getting the team together to participate in a bowling league, what happens when the boss is gone for a day, and all the havoc that can be created in a day. Being shown around at work, having rivalries, and just a lot of things that you would see in a business, things that you see every day at work, is incorporated nicely into the series. The animation still looks really good. Monsters, Inc. came out years ago, and so this looks obviously cleaner and brighter, but I like some of the designs for the new monsters, especially Tyler. I like that they do feel new, but still feel like they would come out of the Monsters, Inc. world. And so I feel like the Monsters, Inc. monsters from the movie had their distinct style of animation, the designs for those monsters. And Monsters University kind of incorporated something new to it, kind of a, updated look to the monsters. And the monsters from here do feel like a mixture of Monsters University with Monsters, Inc. There's a lot of slapstick humor in here. It doesn't quite capture the charm from the original movie and even Monsters University, but there's still a lot of silly moments that will entertain even a younger audience and people who grew up watching Monsters, Inc. I think there's enough in here to appreciate, to justify watching the 10 episodes of this series. It doesn't deliver the most laughs, but I love that it did continue the world that was set up in Monsters, Inc. and exploring more of Monsters, Inc. and now their new business approach, and also some characters from Monsters Inc. are in here besides Mike and Sulley, which was pretty fun to watch. And so it takes all of the world building that was in Monsters Inc., continues it within Monsters at Work, gives us fresh, fun new characters, and really digs deeper into Monsters Inc. and the everyday work that these monsters do. But it's just not as charming or as funny as Monsters Inc., but it is a nice watch, and I would love to see, Disney Plus do a little more series like this down the road in regards to other Pixar movies. And Pixar doesn't have to be fully involved, but if it can continue a story and kind of have the same characters and offer something fun and new to watch, I'd be down to see a lot more like this for other Pixar movies. Maybe like Bug's Life, Ratatouille, Up, whatever it is. It'd be fun to see something like this in a series. I know Up has the Doug Days, which are just animated shorts. It'd be fun to see a full series centered around Up. But for right now, I really did enjoy Monsters at Work. The character dynamics worked. Tylor Tuskmon is a fun new character. Val is really upbeat, and it's fun to see Mike and Sulley return once again and have a lot to do in here. Just not in the first episode. You see them and they're gone. They have a lot more to do than I expected. So before I give you my score for Monsters at Work first full season, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking video, tier lists, all that fun movie related content you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm going to go ahead and give Monsters at Work a B-. Thank you guys for checking my review for Monsters at Work. Have you seen the series? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.